All right, guys, 2025 was an insane year, and I'm just gonna go over some of the highlights from it. And I don't really have a plan for this video. It's gonna be super chill. Obviously, I would encourage all of you to go watch the previous videos that are already out. But if you're new here, this is a quick rundown of what happened in 2025. So let's just hop right into it. So as I said, 2025 was just an insane year. Daniel and I, we got together and we made a list of things that happened this year that we just wanted to talk about. And so I have my computer up and we're just gonna go down the list. Starting with January 3rd of 2025, I started my YouTube channel. So this is something that I've been considering doing, but I hadn't really taken that big step yet. And on the 3rd, I was like, you know what? It's a new year. It feels like now's the time to do it. So I put my first video out. And obviously, again, I would encourage you all to just go and watch the video, but you'll see, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm bad in front of the camera. I'm nervous the entire time. It's awful. It's an awful video in terms of what I'm doing now. And it's just goofy. And I remember putting it out and being excited that I'd done it and also being like, shit, I don't know what I'm doing. And I thought, oh, it can't be that hard. And then I did it and I was like, oh gosh. So then I ended up putting my second video out. I'm not sure when, so I'm gonna look right now. I'm gonna pull it up on my computer because I wanna make sure I get the date right. This is not one of the ones you've written down. This was January 13th. So 10 days later, I put out my second video. In this one, I have more of a plan. I drive to the gym and again, same thing. It's just like I'm nervous in front of the camera and I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing. And that was just kind of the theme of the entire video. So I actually went on to put out 30 videos besides the first two, so 32 altogether in 2025. But after I made those first two videos, I was like, fuck this. I don't know what I'm doing. It's kind of embarrassing. And I'm just like, I'm not gonna do it. So I stopped doing it for multiple months. So anyway, April rolls around, we get there, and Daniel comes down to Portland. We're doing some work on our website that we've been building. And we're talking about it, and he convinces me. So you guys would not be watching this video if it wasn't for Daniel, but he convinces me. He's like, dude, you gotta lock in. You gotta get back to it. So I did. And on April 9th, I put out my third video, which was just a short, quick video where I talk about, getting back into the flow of things, and I'm in my Pontiac vibe. Go watch that video. And then on April 10th, I get my first subscriber, which was Daniel. Also, I should back it up and just say that this entire time, Daniel and I have been trying to build this website. And I've been working at Buffalo Wild Wings since October and just sending him money from every paycheck I get so that we can fund the website, and he's the one coding it and building it. And so that's happening the entire time as well. I forget that some of you guys don't know that. We started publicly putting stuff out at the end of August, but there's 2 years of history here. So if you guys are watching this and you're like, didn't you just start in August? No, we started years ago, but we just started publicly posting and doing that stuff in August. So clarification there. So this cycle continues of me continuing to make YouTube videos, and I'm sending Daniel money and we're figuring out the website. And this goes on all the way until about May. And then May gets fun. So I'm not gonna totally dive in here on YouTube because this kind of ties into my personal life and that kind of stuff. But basically in May, my parents got a divorce and they sold the house. And so I needed to find a new place to live. So I just graduated high school the following year and I'd taken a gap year and I was living with them. And then once they got a divorce, I was like, shoot, I gotta figure it out and I'm all on my own. And this is where it gets fun. So I know the house is gonna sell, but I don't know when. And in June, I drive down to Daniel's college over in Ashland, and we have our first big meeting with a whiteboard. And that was a lot of fun. And this was a big moment for us because it was seeing everything that we'd done, but on a whiteboard and being able to analyze it and figure out, okay, what do we want to change? What works before putting the final touches on. So right as I'm about to leave Ashland, we've done the trip, it's been fun. I'm about to leave. Daniel gets 5 overdraft fees on June 25th of 2025. He gets 5 overdraft fees and goes into $139 worth of debt. So obviously this was not part of the plan. We needed to figure out how to get that money. So that was an adventure. Again, there's certain things I won't fully dive in here because it's YouTube and everyone can see it. But that happened. That was fun. And then on July 4th, we went back up to Bend and Redmond, that area, to see some family and to make the finishing touches on the website. Okay, so we have this week in July when we're in Bend, and we're making the finishing touches, it's going well, and I realized the house is sold, and now I have nowhere to live. So on July 31st, I dropped a fire video called Kinda Homeless. You guys should go watch Kinda Homeless if you haven't yet. But basically it describes I'm living with friends, or I'm sleeping in my car, or I'm figuring it out. And so there's a month and a half of me just trying to scramble to make it all work. Good news is though, on August 12th, Daniel comes over to Portland and I'm able to see the website complete. for the first time. And this was huge because we've been working on this for a little bit over like a year and a half almost. And it was super cool to see like, oh my gosh, here it fully is. And I'd been supplying Daniel the money, but he'd been the one like putting in the work and coding it. That's his world, it's not my world. And so it was super cool to like be there and like see it complete. So at this point, I started to live with some old martial arts friends, which was super cool. And I got to reconnect with them and also have a place to live for a month, which was awesome. And while that's going on, we were also trying to figure out jobs, right? I was working at Super Deluxe Burger, which was a burger place, obviously. And it was good, but like I wanted something a little bit more. So I started looking into like sales jobs. I got my notebook, this is all the notes. And I called with some people and I was writing down like all the places I could try. I knew I wanted to get into car sales. And so I was figuring out like, how do I do that? And we're also like making like the final touches on the website. So it's like this weird month. Okay, and then there's like this 2-week span from August 15th to August 30th. And this was genuinely the craziest 2 weeks of 2025 for me. Maybe even the craziest 2 weeks of my life. This was wild. There was like super highs and super lows, and it was all happening all at once, and it was crazy. So I had found a place to live, so I was moving into that place. There was multiple things in my personal life that didn't go how I wanted them to go. I'm not gonna talk about it too much on YouTube. Person I was seeing, things didn't work out. I had a friendship fallout. It was a tough time there. And on August 30th, Daniel and I officially dropped the website. We announced that we have YouTube channels, and it's like this big moment. So there's all these different things happening all at once, and it was crazy. So additionally, on August 30th, I also dropped this video called Kinda Like Why I'm Here Today, which is my welcome video to the YouTube channel. It kind of explains what's been happening the last few months, even years. And this video blows up. It has 108 views right now. I remember it was one of my first videos to get 100 views. I think there was one more, but it was up there. I forget exactly, but there were a lot of views, and I'd never seen that many views on YouTube ever. I got a bunch of subscribers, so it's like super cool, and there's all these other things in my personal life that totally suck, and then I'm also moving, and it was like just like again, I keep saying it was a crazy time, but it really was, and definitely a mix of emotions. It was a wild time for me. So Daniel and I continue to do some work. I continue to film YouTube videos. We get some flyers that we try to put up. Maybe you guys have seen the video. I do a workout with Fonz. Definitely go watch that video. That was fun. I put out my first video other than the Kinda Like Why I'm Here Today. That's like a first, like, I guess you could say like classic YouTube video. And that was the first video that got 100 views. That one right now has 179 views, which again is insane. And I'd never seen that many views that fast. And so it was super cool. Like, oh yeah, like this does work. I just gotta like crack the code. And then, because it could always get crazier, on September 27th of 2025, Daniel and I reconnected with a friend that we hadn't really seen in a long time. Daniel knew him in high school, I knew him in preschool, and he's also an entrepreneur, he's doing his thing. There's a video that's gonna come out, it's gonna explain everything, so stay tuned, that video will be out at some point. But it was just crazy to reconnect with him, and then we started kind of learning from him and figuring things out. And again, that'll be explained in a coming video, so stay tuned for that guy. But September was like a huge month for me because for the first time I was meeting people who were also entrepreneurs other than Daniel, right? It had always just been Daniel and I. We thought about things the same, but it was like, whoa, there's all these other people who also exist, who also are this way, and I'm not crazy, which was cool. And not only that, but it felt like things were kind of coming together for me. I had my own place, I had my own car, I was meeting people, I was creating the YouTube videos, and I was really in that environment that I wanted to be in. But then on October 10th, this is a great video. This video is called Bus Only Challenge. I put out Bus Only Challenge because my car that I just bought in March, it had started to have issues. And I kept seeing lights come on, and I took it into the dealership, and I was just like, okay, like, what's going on? And I figured, it would be a $200, $300 fix. They probably just gotta like fix something. I don't know. I'm not good with like the interworking of cars, but took it in, and I thought, okay, 200, 300, maybe 500 max. And what they gave me back was that there was like an internal issue with something electronic. In order to fix it, it was gonna be $9,000. So at this point, I'm like, shoot, like I need a car in order to get to work, but I'm not trying to like have my brakes fail, because that's what the light was. So like, I'm not trying to have my brakes fail, but I need a car to get to work, and I don't have $9,000. So I called up Daniel, and at the same time, I just got the job as a car salesman. And I was like, dude, what do I do? Like, I need this vehicle in order to like commute to work, but I'm also like not trying to like spend $9K. And Daniel was like, just fuck it. Like, just like go all in. And like, if you crash your vehicle, like you crash your vehicle, but like try not to. But like, if you do, you do, like fuck it, go all in. You've worked for this, you want to get a job in sales. You're here, like, even if it is $9K, like don't pay it. Just like see how long you can like run the car to the ground. And I was like, yeah. And it was kind of like, what other choice do I have? You know, I tried taking the train to work, which is in a video as well, and it did work. It got me there, but it just took too long, and my day was 11 hours. And then if you add 2 hours of commuting on top of that, it was unrealistic. So I get the job as a car salesman. I take my car to work. The commute does work. The car gets me from point A to point B. That's what I needed, and I stay as a car salesman for multiple months until in December, which was in one of my last videos. I'm not sure when I'll release this video, but one of my last videos, for me right now, as I'm talking about this was less than a week ago. Daniel and I, we drive from Bend over to Portland, and in that video, I end up quitting my job. What I realized was like, I didn't have enough time to really focus on the things that were important to me. The gym, YouTube, martial arts, you know, everything that I wanted to really focus on, I didn't have enough time to do it with car sales. And I liked the job, but I wasn't making that much more money than when I was working part-time, and it wasn't a worthy trade-off. So I decided to quit, and I became unemployed. And now here I am, less than a week later, talking to you guys on YouTube, and I am still unemployed. But we're working on that. I got a few job possibilities. You guys will have to tune into the more recent videos and find out. But I just wanted to take a second to like talk about 2025, because it was an insane year. And if you haven't seen the videos, there's a little rundown. And if you have, here's a reminder. And the other thing is, like, guys, we've been doing this for years. Like, we're coming up on 2 years, I should say. Not like crazy long, but 2 years. And we haven't seen any crazy financial success yet, right? There's been a lot of failures. We got scammed out of $200. That was back in 2024. Daniel went into a bunch of debt. Like, you know, it hasn't been super easy. It hasn't been like all fun and games necessarily, but we're figuring it out. And again, I say this in all my videos, but I'm gonna say it again. Like, if you want something, you can achieve it if you're willing to put in the work. That's all it is. And that's what we're doing. And I don't know how long it's gonna take, but we're gonna keep trying, and I'm gonna keep putting out videos, and we're just gonna restart until it works. And this year's been absolutely just insane. 2024 was like the skeleton, figuring out what we wanted to do and then attempting to start it. But this year has just been like, some execution has happened, I should say, in this year. And it's been super exciting to see, and it's also been like hectic and crazy, and it's a lot of like figuring out logistics, and I love it. Not to mention, like, this year was the first time that the things that Daniel and I talked about at 18 were starting to become a reality, right? We got a long way to go. There's a lot more we want to accomplish. But I remember sitting in Chipotle, like skipping school, sitting in Chipotle with Daniel, trying to figure out Shopify at 18 years old. And now it's like the things we were talking about, like having our own places, having our own cars, being able to make money online. Like, these are starting to become like real, and it's just super cool to see. And so I wanted to say that, and I wanted to share that with all of you guys. And there's a whole lot more that we're gonna be hitting in 2026. I can't say too much yet. But you guys will see. And we sat down and we made some goals, and so my fingers are crossed. And 2026 is gonna be a big year regardless, even if, you know, we don't make any progress. Even if, I shouldn't say don't make any progress. Let's say we don't make any money in 2026. We're still gonna be trying, and it's just gonna make 2027 even more meaningful, right? Everything can be a blessing if it's framed correctly. And that's been like a huge theme of this year, is all these things like going wrong or not going according to plan, and then figuring it out, right? And like, one of my favorite stories, now it didn't happen to me, but one of my favorite stories is like seeing Daniel's account go into $139 worth of debt, because you're just like, what? Like, what do you mean? But now looking back, it's like funny, and we can laugh about it. And I think some of my favorite moments have been in times when it hasn't gone according to plan. This year as well for us, there's just been a lot of like trying things and like totally fucking failing, and then figuring out like, okay, how do we make it work? You know, okay, that doesn't work, what does? And like a lot of like problem solving, and that's been huge. And not only that, but the times when it doesn't go how I want it to, the times when, like, you know, it goes bad or whatever. I say bad because nothing's really bad, but the times when it doesn't go according to plan have been the times when I've also made the most progress. And that's been huge too, of like, you know, no matter what it is, it's still a blessing. And to be able to reframe and see things like always as positive has been huge. And that's been a big theme for this year. And being able to have that, plus also start to see progress and like have things go wrong and like figure it out, like that's been like so like freeing in a way, and I love that. And so I'm gonna take that with me into 2026, and it's gonna be a crazy year. Right now is January 31st at 1:58 p.m. So a few more hours left in 2025, but I just wanted to get this video out. And if you guys are so inclined, go watch the other videos. Please, go watch the other ones. There's way more detail there. This is just a brief rundown. Maybe there's a few details in here that haven't been in those videos, so I wanted to make this video. But I said videos a lot, but just thank you all again. And I'm gonna post this in 2026, but I will be filming and seeing you guys again in 2026. So looking forward to it. At the start of this year, you guys, I lived at my parents' house and I had a decent gig, but I wanted to live alone. It was one of my goals. And I ended up living in my car for a while this year. And there was all sorts of craziness. But I just want to take a second to appreciate, like, this is my view now from my apartment. And like, yeah, there's more responsibility with it, you know, and I pay rent and stuff, and I gotta make sure I have that money and all that, but I love it. And just younger me would be so happy. And I really appreciate that. One more thing I wanted to say to you guys, because I was just editing this and I was like, hey, I should throw this in too. And I'm gonna pull this up. And I'm not pulling this up to like flex on you guys or anything. I just want you guys to understand, like, whatever it is, you can achieve it. And this year has been proof of that. I'm literally about to prove it to you guys, okay? Take a look, hold on. I'm gonna pull this up. All right, so this was 2025, at least so far. I put out a video about an hour ago, so we'll see, but I'm gonna assume it's right around here. But 1,244 views. All right, 56 subscribers right now, and you can see, right, when I'm putting these videos out, like I'm not getting a whole lot because I'm not showing it off to an audience. But once I release it on August 30th, it's just like, you know, we start doing some crazier numbers. I'm not sure if we can see September, but September was a huge month. I think we can. Hold on, let me see here. Let's do. Nope, hold on. Wait for it. Where's the 9? I'm trying to hold my camera and then also do this. 9/1/25. Let's apply that. This is through December. But again, just in September, 1,000 views, which again is crazy. 44 subscribers. You guys can just see like some of the massive progress here. And my point is with this, hold on, let me turn this around. My point is, you guys, like, whatever you want to do, you can do it. And if you believe in yourself and you take the risk and you do the thing, like, you're unstoppable. You really are. You can achieve whatever you want. And this year has been just proof of that to me, right? When I started YouTube this year, I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't really know how to edit on my phone. I didn't know how to talk to a camera. Like, there were all these things I didn't know how to do, and I figured it out. And I've literally seen like results, like real proof of that. And I'm not showing this to you guys to be like, oh, look how many views I got. I'm showing this to you guys to say, hey, you can do it too. Whether it's YouTube, whatever it is, you can achieve it. And if you set your mind to it and you commit, then anything's possible. Right here, this video, it got 179 views. Let me see if I can let that, there we go. 179 views, which is insane. I'm gonna try to beat that in 2026. But again, like, it's all possible. For real, last thing I'll say for this video is just like, again, I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna say it again. Do what you want, right? 2026 is gonna be here regardless. And no matter what you do, 2027 will be here in a year from now. And how that looks depends on what you do. So if there's that thing that you've wanted to do, but you haven't done it, like, do it in 2026. You will be happier, I promise. I know that for me, you know, I wanted to quit after making my second video, and I'm so glad that Daniel convinced me not to. And I'm so glad that I didn't, because I wouldn't have all this now. So take the risk, do the thing, and I will see you all in 2026.